It's about time that I've broken my silence on this Deontay Wilder DAZN situation. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Remstar Says So. Okay, let's get right into this one, guys. If you're a subscriber, thank you for coming back. If you're a regular listener, thank you for continuing to watch the video. Please take this invitation to subscribe. Deontay Wilder has turned down the DAZN deal like I said he would in my previous video. I might as well change the name of this channel to from Remstar Says So to Houdini because I saw this one coming from a mile off. Deontay Wilder has decided to stay loyal to Showtime, Fox Sports, and Al Heyman, and he will be fighting Dominic Brazil for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World on Showtime. Now, I thought that Deontay Wilder was probably going to shift across to Fox Sports just because they're a much bigger network. And I think they probably would have thrown more money at the fight and probably put more dollars in to promote it better. But he's actually staying on Showtime, um, the network that's, pretty much helped build him up to where he is. I'm not going to slate Deontay Wilder for this one. I'm never going to slate any fighter for being loyal in a world and in an era and a lifestyle where there's so little loyalty, you know, I'm not slating anybody for for showing loyalty. I think the biggest thing that you AJ dickhead fanboys that pretty much forget is that Anthony Joshua, DAZN, and Matchroom have pretty much packaged up Deontay Wilder's offer to AJ and given it back to him, just in a different format. Now, for all of you dickheads that are going to start chatting shit, let's not forget Deontay Wilder offered Anthony Joshua $50 million guaranteed for the first fight with a $30 million rematch, regardless of the outcome. Now, for all of you simpletons that didn't get any GCSEs, didn't go to college or sixth form, and definitely didn't go to university because you was too busy wanking off to pictures of Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, and life just passed you by. 50 plus 30 equals 80. $80 million, and that is with upside. Now, Anthony Joshua, DAZN, and Matchroom have put together a package for Deontay Wilder for $80 million. 40 million for the first fight, 40 million for the second fight, but with no upside. If I was Deontay Wilder, I would have turned that offer down straight away because you've just given me back a shitter version of what I've offered to you. $80 million, no upside. From what I've been told, there was no talk of Deontay Wilder getting any of the money from Sky Sports box office or the other countries that AJ fights are in box office, like Australia, New Zealand, and I think certain European countries. It was literally just Deontay Wilder selling his soul, signing up for 40 million flat fee. Now, to me, this is bullshit. I think DAZN have completely wasted the time of Deontay Wilder and his team. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they said this is a 50-50 fight. And if it's going to happen, it's going to be 50-50. I've recently watched a video of Eddie Hearn with his favorite propaganda TV program, or should I say YouTube channel. And the feedback that John Skipper, the head of DAZN, gave to Eddie Hearn was that Shelley Finkel and Al Heyman, when they were going through the offers, kept asking how much is Anthony Joshua getting for this fight, and at no point did John Skipper or anybody else from the DAZN team answer that question. If I'm Deontay Wilder and we all know that this fight is going to do 100 million plus, if I'm locking myself in for 40, I need to know how much the next man is getting because we both know how much money this fight would do on Sky Sports and Showtime or Fox pay-per-view. But DAZN are gonna lump up the majority of the cash and guarantee it to you. So how much is AJ getting? How much is AJ being offered? In the words of Eddie Hearn, AJ was being offered somewhere around the splits that they were talking about. So if Eddie Hearn offered Deontay Wilder a fight at 60-40, you've got to imagine that AJ was being offered a minimum of $60 million for this fight. Now, Wilder already said 50-50, so this is the main reason why he's turning it down. I think what you also need to understand is that AJ would get upside and Wilder wouldn't. Once again, you've got Matchroom trying to diddle somebody out into another BS contract, and this is why the fight's not happening. If you think I'm lying on this situation, go and look at what happened when Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua were trying to lowball Dillian White, and this is the reason why they're now fighting Jarrell Big Baby Miller. They were supposed to fight Dillian White at Wembley, but AJ and Eddie Hearn decided to do an absolute fuckery and lowball Dillian White and give him some shit rematch clause if Dillian White was to win. Let's get back to the situation. If you're Deontay Wilder, you go into this fight. If you knock out Anthony Joshua and you earn 40 million for the first fight, your stock has just gone up. Why on God's green earth would you want to fight Anthony Joshua, knock him out, the biggest commodity in the heavyweight division for 40 million, and then go and give him a rematch again at 40 million? That doesn't make any sense. If you've beaten Anthony Joshua, you are now the A side. Like, there's no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. You've just won the undisputed championship. You hold all four belts because that IBO is a big load of piss, and it's not a real championship. AJ holds three belts. Fuck the IBO. It's not a real championship. And if you think it is, tell me one time AJ's ever fought a mandatory challenge for his IBO strap. Guess what? It didn't fucking happen, you dickhead. So as I said to you, AJ holds three belts, Wilder holds one. Let's also take into consideration other fights of this magnitude. When Lennox Lewis was the unified champion, and I call him unified because he didn't hold the WBO and it was already stated to be a world championship. Lennox Lewis was a three belt unified champion, and when Mike Tyson came to fight Lennox Lewis, they fought for 50-50. Mike Tyson didn't have any belts, and Lennox Lewis had three of the so called four major titles at the time, and they fought for 50-50. Deontay Wilder is bringing the most prestige, most coveted belt of the four, the WBC Championship. This fight's got to be 50-50. I mean, you can go on to IFL and look at Anthony Joshua talking about other fighters saying if you really want it, it's 50-50. The fight should be 50-50, or even better. This is what should happen. If this is a $100 million fight, both fighters should get a guaranteed purse of 40 million, and the winner takes the other 20. That way, winner takes all. And whoever wins that fight is 60-40 in the rematch. That is as fair as you can physically go. Now, I know you little AJ fanboys are going to start talking about the commercial value this and the commercial value that. At the end of the day, if you want the fight, that's what's got to happen. Lennox Lewis wanted to prove to the world he was better than Mike Tyson, and he was the man, and he was the free belt holder, and he gave the challenger a 50-50 split. If AJ wants that WBC title, he's going to have to give Wilder the 50-50 split. But don't get it twisted, guys. Don't listen to Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn's full of bollocks. For AJ, this is perfect, because AJ is about his money. Now, if Wilder's being locked into a flat fee and so on and so forth, there's a potential that AJ might as well. For AJ, he would prefer to go and fight on Fox or Showtime, because AJ knows for a fact him versus Wilder is going to do 1.5, maybe even 2 million US pay-per-view buys. And let's not forget, when Wilder fought Fury, it was $74.99. That's the equivalent of 3 pay-per-views in England. Don't be surprised if AJ versus Wilder happens. This fight might be $100, similar to Floyd Mayweather versus McGregor and Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao. I actually do feel sorry for you US fight fans, because you guys are the ones that really get shafted. This fight will be a minimum of $74.99, but it might be $99.99. Whereas in the UK, the fight might be $39.99 just to cover the costs. Eddie Hearn has also admitted that Anthony Joshua is not signed to DAZN. He's only signed to Matchroom UK, and he has an exclusive fight deal with Sky Sports. I mean, if these guys really want this fight to happen, I think that they need to come and cough up some money real quick, because it's only a matter of time before Al Heyman gets Deontay Wilder an exclusive deal with ITV. As we already know, ITV has recently done a deal with the PBC, and all of PBC fights are now on ITV. We've seen Pacquiao versus Broner. We've just seen Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, and Deontay Wilder versus Brazil. I'd bet my bottom dollar that's going to be on ITV as well. ITV Sports are putting money back into boxing. They've had Chris Eubank Jr. as the pay-per-view star, um, and he's been headlining a lot of their cards on pay-per-view. And now they've got an American arm with Al Heyman's PBC. As I said to you guys, I cannot fault a man for staying loyal. Also, all of you little dickhead fanboys, what you guys need to remember is when AJ's contract with Matchroom was running out, and Eddie Hearn was putting together that 100 million six-fight deal, Floyd Mayweather was offering AJ an opportunity, and he would have made a lot more than 100 million that Eddie Hearn offered him. And I don't remember none of you little fanboys pressurizing AJ to go and sign up to go and fight under TMT, the money team. AJ would have made a lot more money, and he would have been fighting predominantly in the UK. It's one rule for AJ and it's one rule for Wilder. AJ is supposedly about his money, so he should have taken the Floyd Mayweather fight, the Floyd Mayweather contract, but he didn't. He stayed loyal to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Deontay Wilder is staying loyal to the PBC, Showtime, and potentially Fox Sports as well. The only person who you see out here who has no real loyalty in the major fighters is Tyson Fury. 1 minute he's with Mick Hennessy, fighting on Channel 5 and Dave and whoever else he can get. Then he's fighting Klitschko on Sky Sports pay-per-view. Then he signs to Frank Warren and he's BT. Now he's fucked off BT and he's going to be fighting exclusively in America. Let's not forget, guys, loyalty is loyalty. You cannot criticize a man for staying loyal to the people around him. So yeah, if I was Deontay Wilder, I would have told the zone to go get fucked as well. I'm not signing up to fight AJ on no flat fee, especially when I don't know what AJ's earning. Especially when I think AJ's probably gonna get the upside and I'm not getting shit. Like, yes, 40 million might be more than what Wilder's earned, and it's rumored that Wilder took home about 15 to 20 million for the Fury fight, but it doesn't matter. This isn't the Fury fight. This is the AJ fight. And also, what you guys need to understand is that Deontay Wilder wants to avenge his draw with Tyson Fury and go and finish him off. That might be part and parcel as to why he's turned this deal down. Also, people need to also look at this DAZN deal only had one fight on the contract. It had one fight and one date for the Brazil fight, and it had him locking himself in to fight AJ at any given time at AJ's convenience. AJ could have kept Wilder on the shelf for a year, allowed him to gain ring rust, and then called for the fight. This is bullshit. I mean, people that criticize Wilder for supposedly sending over an offer with no date on the contract to AJ, but yet AJ does the same thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Wilder has turned this fight down. We don't know what the money is on this Showtime deal. But one thing we do know is if you go and watch Michelle Joy Phelps's Gloves or whatever it's called, or Blue Blood Sports Boxing, they were both sort of recording Deontay Wilder and Shelley Finkel. Shelley Finkel has actually stated that it wasn't $100 million. In fact, he said it was nowhere near that number. So, who's telling the truth? Eddie Hearn said it was a minimum of 100 million, maybe more. Shelley Finkel saying it was less than 100 million. We don't know what the real number is. 100 million's been toted about. Maybe it was more, maybe it was less. Deontay Wilder's manager has no reason to, lie about it. He's not his promoter, he's just his manager. So I have no doubt and sort of questioning Shelley Finkel on this one. We don't know what the package is that he's getting off Showtime now, but what we do know is that this next fight is going to be on Showtime regular. It's not going to be pay-per-view. I'm expecting Deontay Wilder to tear through Brazil like a madman. They've got bad blood, and I'm going to have to make a separate video on that. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Wilder's right to turn down the so-called $100 million DAZN deal when he doesn't know what AJ's getting? In my opinion, the only good part of this deal was the Brazil fight, getting 20 million for that. I think the rest of it is complete bullshit. Hit like, hit comment, share my video. That's the end of the show because Remstar says so.